Hello friends, good morning. Hope you're all good. So my dear friends, today I have come up with another story, that is Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. He was a Nigerian author and this was written in 1957. It was published in 1958, a year after it was written. This period is of post-colonialism, and this story's main people are the third person. Now, the story begins with Okonkwo. He was a handsome, muscular man, and people really respected him a lot after he won the wrestling match. He was known for his strong body and for his masculinity. Whereas Anoka was his father, Onko's father, and Anoka was just the opposite of his son. He was not at all strong, he was very scared, and he loved music, and he was a musician. He was very irresponsible and he had taken loans from almost every place. He had put his family into debts. Okonkwo treated his family very badly and he always wanted to show that he was stronger. He put down his family in a very bad way. He ill-treated them and he hit them, and he was not at all good to his family. Okonkwo was very tensed about Navoy as he was his eldest son and he was just like his grandfather Anoka. One day there was a fight between the two villages and the people died brutally against the village of the man who was Okonkwo. People were dead brutally who were against Okonkwo's caste, against Okonkwo's village. But there was one boy who was 15 years old and his name was Ikemefuna. Since he was a little boy who was left there, they did not want to kill him, so Okonkwo brings him to his house and he stays for 3 years in their house. Now, as this Ikemefuna was staying in his house, he thought of helping Navoy with many things. They became very good friends and he always advised Navoy that why don't you be like your father, strong and showing your masculinity. So this is how his friend was always encouraging him, and seeing this Okonkwo was very happy, and this boy also called Okonkwo father, as he was not his original father, yet he called him father, and there was a very close bond between their family and him. Now, here comes an entry of Zedu, who was an old man of their village, of Okonkwo's caste. He says that this boy is not from our caste. The boy's name was Ikemefuna. He is not from our caste, so you must kill him. Now, since he calls you father, you cannot kill him. Give this responsibility to us, we will do it. Now, Okonkwo, hearing this, he thought that if I say that I won't be able to kill him, now they will make fun of me. He wanted to show that he was a real man, so he decided that I will only kill. They told that your hands will shiver, you will not be able to kill, but he was ready to kill Ikemefuna and he kills him. Navoy was very angry with his dad, with his father, as he kills his best friend. Now, Izedu, who was the person who told to kill Ikemefuna, he died after a few days. Now, in his funeral, as he was dead, there was a small mistake by Okonkwo. By mistake, he killed this boy. The boy was 16 years old and he was Izedu's son himself. So since this was a crime in the tribe, you cannot kill your own caste people. Since it was a crime, he was sent for 7 years away from his village with his family. Now he went to another village where his maternal people were there, and Okonkwo lived there for 7 years. Though he was very depressed and he wanted to come back to his village, somehow he lived there. Now 7 years were over and he comes back to the village. He sees that people are not the same anymore. Now English people have taken their place. English people have taken the rule over that place, and there was not a single man who welcomed him gladly. Now this Englishman were spreading Christianity all over. Navoy himself goes and becomes a Christian, as he was in hatred against his father. He wanted to do something that would be against his father because he had killed his best friend. Now there was a person who was Mr. Brown. He was an English man. He was very good at heart and he was very loving with the people. When this Okonkwo goes back to his place, he sees that the roads are no more the same. It looks so beautiful. The roads are there, the hospitals are there, the schools are there, and children of that tribe are studying now. They are living so happy. So he was very, very happy with the developments that was going on. But before Okonkwo would come, the officer was changed. The officer's name was Reverend, who came instead of Mr. Brown. Now this reverend was not so good, and there was always chaos between the villagers, and there was something or the other he had problems with. Now this man, reverend, who was not good at all, he started hitting them and he started behaving very rudely to them. Now this man was a very powerful man, as we know. Okonkwo, he couldn't bear up these, so he kills the messenger who had brought a message of this Englishman. Okonkwo says, let's fight with the Englishmen, but the people were no more with him because now the English ruled and they were much more powerful. Now, as no one supported Okonkwo, Okonkwo felt really depressed and he goes and hangs himself on a tree and he suicides. Seeing this, the district commissioner who was there, he comes and he sees that no one is touching Okonkwo's body, the dead body, because it was a rule that if a person dies all by himself, if he suicides, no one is going to touch the body. Now this was a very antique rule that was there. This was really very surprising, as Okonkwo was helping his people only, but the people did not support when he was living as well as when he was dead. Now, as district commissioner was writing a book on Nigeria, he included this topic in his book. He was really shocked, and this was found really interesting, so he put it in his book. The book that the district commissioner was writing, the book's name was The Pacification of the Primitive Tribes of the Lower Niger. So this was the book that the district commissioner was writing. So my dear friends, we see again that in this story too, there's not a happy ending, there's a sad ending, and then this story has been stuck towards the end. We do not know now the Englishmen will still be ruling, or they will stop, or someone will be there who will fight against from the village. We do not know. So this story is a story. It looks like it has to be continued, but it has stopped just like that, leaving for the readers to think, to imagine, to acknowledge things all by themselves. So my dear friends, if you found that the story was really helpful for you, it was really interesting for you, do share it with your friends, and don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. Thank you children. Thank you dear friends. Have a wonderful day ahead.